Hey, I'm Stuart Matola, relationship coach. I'm filming to you here from Miami. You can see those beautiful palm trees. I just spent the week here for Thanksgiving with my family, and it was awesome. Weather's been beautiful, and never trust a man whose eyes you can't see. So I'm going to show you my eyes here for a moment, but in the benefit of not being a blinding ball of whiteness, I'm going to put that hat back on. So I want to talk to you in this video about something I see a lot of guys dealing with and struggling with, and it's basically feeling like their wife or partner could never admit that she's wrong, can never say, yeah, I did this wrong, or I'm willing to take responsibility for A, B, and C. And, you know, he's feeling like she's putting it all on him. And maybe you're feeling like you're never enough for your wife. She's always complaining. And I'm going to give you some tools in this video that are going to help you with that. And notice one thing that's going to you may not even be aware of that's lacking for you. I'm going to speak to that here. Now, if you're in that situation where you feel like you're being picked on a lot, I got a lot of empathy for you. Now, I want to encourage you to notice in your marriage or in your relationship, where are you getting your feedback from? Is it just coming from her? Are you doing what I call pivoting on your partner? And so you're basically noticing that you're just getting negative feedback, and you're starting to internalize that as your identity, who you are, because you want to be a good man for her, but you're feeling powerless and you feel like there's nothing you can do that's enough for her. So notice that you're outsourcing, or notice if you're outsourcing your self-esteem, your self-worth to your partner. Okay? A lot of times we talk about as guys as like self-confidence. Are you outsourcing your self-confidence to your partner? Now, do you do that at work with your boss or your clients? You got a lot on the line. And then maybe you do that at home. Now, the missing common denominator is you. Now, a lot of us don't want to deal with that. That's the hard truth. And, honestly, chances are you're not watching this video with a group of guys and saying, oh yeah, that's me. I'm that guy with, low self-confidence, low self-worth. Hell no, you're not. Because at the end of the day, us dudes, we don't want anybody to know that this stuff is going on for us. So we hide it, we bury it, and we internalize it. Now the problem with that is it gets hidden so deep that we start to lose who we really are, because we don't have other people to reflect back at us and say, hey dude, no, that's not you. You don't need to buy her story. You're better than that, And so when we internalize those beliefs about who we are based on the feedback that we're getting from our wife or partner, well, what happens? We become powerless. We become frustrated, and a lot of times we start thinking she's the problem. But if you had solid self-worth, solid self-confidence, you'd be able to be in the room with her complaints, and you wouldn't even care if she ever admitted if she was wrong, because you would know where you stand. And you would start to understand something called relational consciousness. You'd start to think about this third entity of the we, because you'd have a solid I to stand in. Now, the tool here is when you start to go into that negative feedback loop based on what she's saying or what you're internalizing from what she's saying, pause. I just want you to stop that and pause that right there. And if you can just remember that simple word, pause. I'm going to pause that when I start beating myself up, when my inner critic runs wild. You might even notice an inner victim is just beating you up, and nothing's ever good enough for her. And so suddenly you're becoming the complainer that you can't stand in her. Now I want to help you get back into your power here, brother. A lot of times we won't pause because in the pause there can be emptiness. Well, if I'm not, and I'll say sometimes the mind can be kind of like a Pac-Man. It just eats up those dots. It creates scenarios so that you have something to chew on. So a lot of guys won't pause because what's there? If you pause on the feedback loop, what's being ingested? Emptiness, nothing. And that's really scary. And a lot of us would prefer the discomfort that we know than the emptiness that we don't know. So in lieu of that emptiness, I want to provide you with something else. Just a simple script, a new feedback mechanism. And I'll leave it open for you to consider what that is for you. It could be as simple as like, I'm a good man showing up as best as I can in my marriage. It could be as simple as, I'm okay, I'm enough, and I'm worthy of being loved. But it's so important that you pause that old circuitry and start putting in the new circuitry. Now the thing is, it takes 14 days of continual repetition of this kind of thing, and it takes accountability. Now I want to be clear, in a quick video, maybe from this you may have gotten some short-term relief, some short-term comfort. And if you did get that short-term comfort, great. You got an endorphin boost, maybe you got some energy to go back into your day, feel like you were heard and seen. That's a very different thing than long-term action and change. But if you want to up your game to the next level, what I shared in this video is just one small tip of 20 and more that I'm working on with my clients in the men's relationship school. It's a place where guys are showing up to change the inner script on what's going on inside of them so that they can be a confident man in relationship and in their lives in general. So I'm going to leave links below to the men's relationship school, as well as a link to contact me one-on-one. If you dug this, please like or follow me on this platform. If you're watching on YouTube, please click to the lower right and subscribe to this channel, and click the little bell to get weekly notifications as I go live on these videos. Thanks so much for watching, brother, and have a kick-ass day. Bye.